The indictment alleges that Combs had exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines.
So it turns out young Miami has disappeared after Diddy exposed her as being involved in his horrifying crimes. It seems like she is running for her life now. We know that Diddy had a complex web of enablers and employees that made all that messed up stuff possible.
And Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs.
But why would Diddy snitch? Well, the truth is that he was an informant for the FBI.
Kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address to my child. None of these that want to say something
Travis
now.
Gave you the address, though?
Travis gave me the address. Right. But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard you.
Wait,
hold on.
Okay.
All you fake hard you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my co-car. So y'all shut the about me. Now let me say it calm. You shut the about Michael.
Right.
How do you know that Diddy was an informant and they wanted you to go more into detail about it? Can you do that?
Well, see, if I'm in the car with Kirk Burrows and him and our driver, and we go down to 26 Federal Plaza, I know 26 Federal Plaza is the FBI office. All right? Now, what they went down there and what paperwork they took down there, I did not know until I found out later that he was working with an agent in DC, but he was arrested by an agent in New York. But I can't go into it, and the reason I can't go into it is because another individual found out this information and it's owed to him. But when Fox News and everybody say they can't find out who the agent is, that's bull. it's online. If you got certain systems that you could find out who the agent is, because we found out who the agent is, but it's not my story to tell. I would tell you that, brother, but it's not my story to tell. It belongs to somebody else, and they're gonna see it come out. Puff was hit with a 40 rule because it's called a Rule 40, because he didn't show up at the agent's office in DC. The New York agent arrested him. He got adjudicated of all charges in January of 1999.
Now, as for Young Miami, she was seemingly always on Diddy's side, unlike the overwhelming number of women that spoke up against him. And now it looks like it has come back to bite her. Back in August, Young Miami finally broke her silence about the accusations swirling around her ex, Diddy, and it's clear she's not here for the drama. The 30-year-old City Girls rapper, real name Caresha Brownlee, hopped back on her Revolt podcast, Caresha Please, where her friend Saucy Santana got real with her about her mental health and what it was like dating Diddy. When Santana asked why she hadn't said anything about the lawsuits accusing Diddy of some serious stuff, rape, and even sex, Young Miami kept it real. She explained that her experience with him wasn't like what's been described in those lawsuits.
With Diddy, what was your experience with dating him? Because I feel like in the headlines, it's a lot of just chaos and it's a lot of allegations. And so I think that's what makes people feel like, well, since you were so heavily involved, you were a part of these things or you were around these things. So what was your experience like, dating him?
Well, I met Diddy at Peeper Party, and I met him when he was in a love era. And I met Diddy when the world was celebrating him and giving him his flowers while he was alive. Mm-hmm. Like he was getting the Global Icon Award, the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Key to the City. He had a new album that was coming out. So I was celebrating him with the world. And I just feel like everybody trying to crucify me for it. Like, you was his biggest advocate, you was his cheerleader, but I was just celebrating when the world was celebrating him. Mm-hmm. So why am I being crucified or why am I being separated?
Yeah.
When I was dating him, it was love, love, love. The frequency is high. We used to laugh because that's like him to it's always, what's up, queen?
Yes.
So I just felt like I met him like in a whole new era, and that wasn't my experience. Mm-hmm. Like when I met him, it was just like, I told y'all on season 1, I even asked him like, why you with me? Why you with a city girl?
Yeah.
Why you coming into my room? Because I'm on some whole other like, you know my lyrics and stuff. Yeah. And it's just like, when I got with him, he was just a man. Like it was more of like, okay, we ain't gonna do that. We gonna sit, we gonna communicate, we gonna get the solutions. What's going on? Like, we ain't even going that route. So that was my experience with him.
So a lot of the things that people really like say about him, you didn't experience that as in dating. That's not something that you saw. So is that the reason why you never said anything? Is that the reason why when all of these allegations and lawsuits came apart, like, why didn't you speak?
Because I can't speak on something that wasn't my experience. And I can't speak on something that I don't know. I can't speak on these allegations because I wasn't around at the time. I don't know that person and that wasn't my experience.
So with you being, I feel like, a survivor of domestic violence, he never hit you in a relationship. He was never violent. Was that something that you had to tolerate, or that wasn't a part of, because I feel like that's the biggest thing to him right now is, what he going through in these lawsuits and, that video that came out.
Young Miami and Diddy were first linked back in 2021, and by June 2022, she confirmed they were dating on her podcast. Fast forward to last spring, and she was telling The Cut she's single. But during all the chaos surrounding Diddy, she opened up about how tough it's been, especially feeling like she was left on her own.
Why do you think that you are so heavily involved in everything? Like everything that comes out about him, like you said, it's automatically, well, what you think? Mm-hmm. Well, how you feel? What you got to say?
Because people feel like I was Diddy's biggest cheerleader and I made him my brand. And I felt like Diddy was on brand for me. I got with Diddy environment to my life. I had him at the office. I was still doing Rich Roulette in a split. All white on. Ari. Slap on my ass. I ain't never think I was bigger than the program. I was still on my City Girl shit. I was still doing remixes. Don't play with it.
You did Gucci Mane.
Mane.
First Impression.
I was still working. City Girls was on tour with Jack Harlow. We had At Bad. You know, Diddy came to me with the song. Told JT, let's get on this record. Like, I was still doing City Girls shit. I was heavily involved in the group. I never thought I was bigger than the program.
Young Miami also talked about her own painful past, revealing she's a survivor of domestic violence in 2 previous relationships. After those experiences, she promised herself she'd never go through that again. As for Diddy, she made it clear they're no longer dating, but when they were together, she went in with the goal of learning from him, hoping to become a business mogul herself. DJ Academics, though, believes Young Miami was paid to be a yes woman.
Young Miami finally did an interview talking about her relationship with Diddy. And you commented about this, basically saying that a lot of these dudes just want women who'll never say no.
Yeah.
And if you have that's down with everything,
Yeah.
then it'll work out.
Yeah, listen. I was describing a very typical relationship I see in the industry with like dudes who have a lot of power and money. And sometimes you see the women that either gravitate towards those men or you see them almost like rotating as musical chairs. And a lot of times it's not like these women are just the most gorgeous women on the land. Not saying they're ugly at all. But when you get to cases like, you know, Diddy, and, you know, obviously I've never been around anyone like Diddy, but I've been around some of these people and some of these rappers who have a lot of money, and they have some really interesting situations. When I mean interesting situations, your monogamous relationship is not what's going on here. They have a very... if you ever go to the comfort of either rappers' homes or you hang with them like really behind the scenes, man, a rapper who got $50 million, man, trust me, like he's doing whatever he wants. So when I say that, is like a lot of times the women that they want around, right? And this is even on a lower level than Diddy, is the women who, no matter what they say, the woman is gonna be down with.
But she's not exactly in the clear herself. Earlier this year, things got even messier when a producer, Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr., sued Diddy and Cuba Gooding Jr., accusing them of sexual assault. He even claimed Diddy and his crew, including his son, Justin Dior Combs, were involved in sex. To top it off, Jones alleged that Young Miami was part of this, claiming she was paid to be one of Diddy's sex workers and that she brought on Diddy's private jet in 2023. Jailed hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs' infamous freak-off parties left one dealer completely shocked after witnessing A-list celebrities getting intimate with each other. Gene Deal confirmed that celebrities and politicians were on tape at these parties.
Jay's speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that, but ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exist. You know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is gonna speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine he had every room taped and bugged? And they found little bugs and little tape recorders. I mean, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy shit. Bruh, they just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be known. If it's on videotape.
Yeah, man, I know they gotta be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities gonna be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah. That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statements are true, they got him. They got tapes and stuff.
Diddy's 4,500 square foot East Hampton mansion was the spot for his legendary white parties, where stars like Mariah Carey and Jay-Z were regulars.
What I heard is that over the next 18 months, and honestly, when did Diddy start getting exposed? It was in December or was it January? When did the Diddy stuff pop off? Because I knew about 2 years ago I knew about a year before the Diddy stuff went down that was going down first. Then it's going to be Jay-Z. Excuse me, November? Okay. After the powers that be, the PTB, the industry, whatever you want to call them, once they're done with Diddy, right? And this is going to be going on for some time, but once, I guess you can say the public humiliation, basically after the major documentaries come out, right? After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right?
According to a federal indictment unsealed this week, Diddy's freak-offs were over-the-top sex performances that he not only arranged and directed, but also recorded and participated in, often pleasuring himself while watching. On Tuesday, Diddy pleaded not guilty to all charges, but was denied bail twice, meaning he's stuck in a Manhattan jail until his trial. And it's not looking good for him in jail.
A story we're tracking, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on suicide watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after 2 judges denied his request for bail. This as a grand jury is expected to hear new testimony from sex workers very soon. Good Day's Lizette Nunez is outside the facility in Gowanus with the very latest. Lizette, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. So TMZ is reporting that 2 sex workers are sharing their encounters with Diddy with the feds. We're also hearing that Diddy has a target on his back while he is behind bars here at the Metropolitan Detention Center. TMZ is reporting that more people plan to cooperate with the feds in Sean Diddy Combs' sex case.
We found out that these 2 individuals, and we have actually spoken to one of them. They are both sex workers, currently sex workers. One of them says that they had an interaction with Diddy in 2014, and they are willing to tell the feds what they know about that interaction.
The indictment also claims that Diddy used everything from physical violence to promises of career boosts, and even threats to withhold financial support to control his alleged victims.
And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his kidnapping and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses.
Dawn Richard and Aubrey O'Day of Danity Kane, singer Kesha, former bad boy rapper turned politician Shine, and even Mary J. Blige have all added their voices, either speaking bluntly or dropping cryptic hints about Diddy's past.
Let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life.
But what's raising eyebrows is the deafening silence from some of Hollywood's biggest names, all of whom had close ties to Diddy at one point. His ex Jennifer Lopez, Jay-Z, mentee Justin Bieber, the Kardashians, none of them have said much, if anything, about the explosive allegations. Gene Deal has a theory about this.
But why haven't any of Diddy friends spoke up for him?
My man, listen here. All those ones who made it to the Diddy party, to the after party, and to the hotel lobby, they not gonna ruin their brand. They not gonna say nothing. Man, I was watching the other day, listen to me. They did that, they on Channel 2 News here in New York. Gayle King and Nate and that other guy, they were talking about, they showed him beating Cassie, and they showed him the apology in the whole 9 yards. All they said is that we have commentary about that, but we gotta go to a commercial. They never came back and said nothing about it. I was like, yo, damn. He still got power like that? Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein, he was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him, because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z, we the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there, denounce what he did, or come forward and say, I support him.
Experts say these stars are keeping quiet out of fear. Celebrities are silent because they're scared to death that their brands could take a massive hit if they're linked to Diddy. And worse, they fear that if they cross him, things could go horribly wrong. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.